Okay, so right away we can see something, right, which is that something I want to point out is that it's actually really simple what he does. Before we kind of make our attempt, we can just kind of look at what the app shows us, which is the notes that he uses. And if I just recited to somebody and I was like, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and I was like, do that. For a lot of people, that'd be kind of difficult. But when you can actually see the notes, you see that what he's doing is just at one note, and then he goes down, and then down again, and he stays there for a bit, and then he goes up, and then up again to those same exact notes. So he goes up to the same note that he was, like the second note, and then the third note, he goes back to the first one. So it's really not that difficult. It's just right? We can see that. Now it becomes really simple. So now we can make our attempt. 1 second. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Right? Okay, so we make our attempt and then we can go back. Right? So the goal of this, one thing I want to point out, I know the app looks a lot like a game, but it's not meant to be a game. It's meant to be a learning tool, right? So that the idea is you shouldn't just go through it all the way through like a recitation and then see whatever your score is or whatever. The idea is you're supposed to try to use it to be able to master a recitation so that you can use that out, so you can recite that recitation outside of the app. So let's go back. And we will make let's listen to it again. And we can actually even slow it down, right? So let's try that. Alright, and we can try. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. See, it's a bit better. And then once you're able to, kind of get the notes in your head, the idea is you want to remove the recitation audio so that you can do it just by yourself. So let's do that. We have this setting right here, mute reciter audio. And then let's go back and we will do it again. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So the muting the recitation audio, it's important for a few points. One is it actually makes you do better in the app, because when you are listening to this audio, right, and you're trying to copy it as it's playing, you end up doing things a bit late, right? Because you're first listening and then repeating, kind of. So when you remove the audio, then you are actually following the movement of the ball, right, in the app, and so that ends up making you perform better. And like I said, the idea is that you should be able to do the recitation outside of the app, right? That's your end goal, right? It's not just to be able to do it inside the app. You should be able to do this, in the masjid or wherever. And so that's what you should want to do. So now, after you've done that first, you could say like verse, then you can practice it yourself. Then you go Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, right? And the notes are there in your head. You know that he goes 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? All right, let's move on to the second verse. So we can add this reciter audio back, and let's listen. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Okay, so obviously the first thing we can see is this is, definitely there's much more going on here. Before it was definitely simple, just 3, 2, 1, right? Now there's a lot of things going on, but if we look at it, it's actually not that what is it? Not that difficult. There's not that many things going on. So one thing in the future I want to add kind of like a scrub feature, so you can kind of scroll back and forth between these notes, because this is kind of annoying. I want to go back to the beginning, but I can't. So let's go back to the beginning of this verse, and then now let's look at the notes. So one thing we can see, right, is while it sounds like he's doing a lot, he's actually just going back and forth between two notes, right? So we'll call that first one, we'll call that 3, and the second one is 2. He's just going 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and then he does this like fluctuation, this right? That's like 2, 3, 2. So once again, it's really just, when you don't see the notes, then it's really, what is it? It's confusing. You don't really know what's going on. But when you see them, then it's like, oh, he's just going back and forth between these two notes. And even me, like before I put this recitation into the app, like that fluctuation of like, it wasn't really clear to me, like what is he actually doing there. Once I put this into the app, then it's like, oh, he's just going down and up, right? So we can see, one other thing is he starts at the bottom, right? We can see his first note is this, and then he goes up, Allah, right? So let's look at it a bit more. Let's play.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
And that last one also, I really, it took me a long time to figure out what he was actually doing. This, right? He goes, I wish I had like a pointer I could point to show you. But he goes like, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Right, you see those 4 like really short notes? That's what it is. It's right? Once you can see them, then it's like, okay, that's what he's doing. But when you can't see them, then it's really, like I said, I didn't know, is he going like up? Is he going down? It's not clear. But now that they're there, it's clear. So let's make our attempt. 1 second. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Okay, so we kind of got it. So let's try to remove the reciter audio, and then we'll make our attempt again.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Yeah, I think that's it. So once again, that whole section, it really is just those 2 notes. There's one part where he goes below to, we can say that like, he goes like to like 1. So he goes like 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, and then he goes like, what is it, like 4, right? Or that's like 3, 2, 1. So that 1 is a little bit lower, but then he goes back up. All of those are just those 2 notes, right? So it can sound really, really advanced, but once again, it's just going back between those 2 notes. And so once you're able to see that and get control of your voice, then you can, you can do that as well. Okay, let's continue.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Okay, so once again, this also has a lot more going on, but we can, what is it? Maybe, once again, slow things down a bit and let's try to, kind of analyze what he's going on, what he's doing. So once again, he does this jump, right? He goes, ashhadu, right? He starts low, and then he does this little fluctuation thing. And the fluctuations, once again, they sound difficult, but once again, it's just, it's just going back between those two notes. Ashhadu al, right? And then, and then now he introduces a higher note. Right? So there's much more going on, obviously. But one thing I just want you to see is that, what is it? A lot of it is just going back and forth between these notes. And one thing that I also noticed through making this app is that I used to think that like reciters a lot of times would like jump between notes. Like maybe they'll go from like the third note to like the one, like go like 3, 1, and then like 5, and then like a 7 or something like that, like kind of jumping all over the place. But one thing I've noticed is that they really don't do that. Most of the time, how do I say this? It's like the notes are continuous. Like they'll go like 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3. Like it's always, they'll go one up. How do I say what I'm trying to say? Like they won't jump like multiple notes. They'll like do some type of fluctuation between two notes and then move down one and then move down another. Like, yeah, they won't jump multiple notes. It's not often that they do that. Like here at the beginning, he does that, right? Ashhadu. There, he jumped multiple notes to get to that first beginning spot. But that most of the time they don't do that. But yeah, okay. Let's maybe we'll do this one last ayah and then we can probably stop this live. So yeah, let's listen to what he does again. Oh, sorry, I muted the audio.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Okay, so that thing he does at the end, right? This, I think it was that. Hey, let's try it again. Or maybe I'll make my attempt. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. Yeah, like this is what I'm saying, right? So if we look all the way to the left, right? So he's at a very bottom note, right? And he's going to get up to that higher note. But he does it in an interesting way. Like okay, so he's at this bottom note. You can see like all the way to the left, that green one. Then he goes up one and then up another. But then comes down. And he stays there a bit and then he goes up, down, and then up. So he's not skipping notes, he's just, creatively going between the notes to go from high to low, right? So let's go back. Maybe this time we'll remove the reciter audio.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. And one thing also is like, especially in the Adhan, a lot of times the same type of fluctuations they use throughout the Adhan, like that. Oh, we saw that before, right? I think it was in the second verse that we saw that. And he does it again here. This oh, and he'll use it throughout. Let's do one more verse, I think.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Okay, I need to fix some of the UI here. The text, what is it? Shouldn't be overlapping with the notes, but yeah, whatever. Okay, let's try that. أشهد أن لا
إله إلا الله.
So he goes pretty low there, right? Let's try again. Oh, so I think one thing I want let's maybe let's try it again.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Alright, let's try to remove the reciter audio.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. Okay. And then so once you, what is it? Go through a few of these like verses, you should try to do it yourself, right? Without the app, and see if you can remember them. Remember, okay, what were the notes? Where did he go up? Where did he go down? How did it sound? And then you try it yourself. And if you can't remember, then you go back to the app and you figure it out. Like I said, it's a learning tool. It's not a game. So let's try right now, right? Like I'm not looking at the notes, and let's see if I can remember, right? So the first one, how did it go? It was like, remember, it was that 3, right? 3, 2, 1. It's like Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Okay, and the other one was, remember, that's going back between that 3 and the 2 for a while, right? So Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And the next one, to be honest, I don't really remember. Let's see. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. I think that was it. And then this newest one, he goes much lower, right? It's like أشهد أن لا إله